Today's Friday. Yom Shishi. Today is Friday, and it's Tezayin Tamuz. Tomorrow is Shabbos. It's Shabbos Tamuz. And I'm sure you remember that. By the way, I looked up yesterday. It was Taka 40 years ago. It was exactly 40 years ago that the Rebbe made a fabring in Tezvav Tamuz, and he spoke about the Eidachai. I don't know if you were here yesterday. The whole class about the Eidachai. I looked it up. It was 40 years ago exactly that the Rebbe said that the Chavs nicht gehört von Schwer, I didn't from the Friedrich Rebbe. So I'm not going to go into the details, but the Rebbe said that the stories are true. It's so interesting. It's so the opposite of what we're used to about how the Rebbe approaches the Friedrich Rebbe. But anyway, we're learning. So I wanted to say that tomorrow is Shabbos, Shabbos Tamuz. So Mistama, everybody remembers that Nun Aleph, 1991, which is, as we stand, the most recent occasion of the Rebbe's talking, also was the same kviyas that Shabbos Tamuz and Tisha B'Av were both Shabbos. And they were nitche. Shabbos Tamuz was pushed to Sunday and Tisha B'Av was pushed to Sunday. At that time, in the summer of 1991, there was actually a likut, or the Kutasichas that came out that talked about this. In other words, the Rebbe had spoken about it years earlier. So there was a convergence of two sichas, what the Rebbe gave out b'ksav and what the Rebbe gave out b'dibur. In other words, that summer, 1991, 28 years ago this summer, a likud came out explaining the Das Rebbe, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. Kivon the Iddche. So that summer, Nun Aleph, there was a shtage kocht in this thing. I mean, you all know the summer of Nav was all about Mashiach. So one of the many, many things that Rebbe discussed was this idea that in the Gemara there's two opinions. What do you do when a fast day is on Shabbos? So the halacha is, the Chachamim hold, you push it off, right? Or in the case of Tainus Esther, you push it forward, you push it early. So Purim should be on the right day. If the 13th of Adar is on Shabbos, you don't fast on Sunday. Sunday's Purim. So you fast on Thursday. This is the halacha. But the other fast, saying Gedalia, Asar B'Tevis, Asar B'Tevis can't be Shabbos, Shabbos Tamuz, and Tisha B'Yov, you push it forward to Sunday. I'm saying Kippur you fast on Shabbos. Asar B'Tevis, there's a Abudraham that says that if it would be Shabbos, we would fast on Shabbos. I've spoken about this many times, but it can't be Shabbos. Asar B'Tevis could be Friday, and we fast and we finish. When Asar B'Tevis is Friday, you're only Api Alochi, you're not allowed to come into Shabbos hungry. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to fast Friday. A Yiddish who fasts every day is not allowed to fast Friday. Before Shabbos, you have to be toyed. You're not allowed to come into Shabbos fadaydid, worried. But when Asar B'Tevis is Friday, we're Matanil and Goymer. We fast. You come into Shabbos hungry. You don't eat anything before. And in Australia, you know what time the Asar B'Tevis fast finishes? It's 9 o'clock at night or something like that, or 9:30. And they don't eat a whole Friday, and then Friday night they break their fast on Shabbos. So the Rebbe brought two opinions in the Gemara. The opinion which is la halacha is that you're deichid, the Satan is. And then das Rebbe, the whole union of Rebbe is Rebbe. That kivon the Iddche. When the fast is pushed away, so it's pushed away completely. And the Rebbe explained the havonah shebedavar. What does it mean, kivon the Iddche? And I'm using now my own words. This is the Rebbe's words, but in my words. In the Eibishter's world, there can't be contradictions. If everything is b'hashgocha pratis, then there's no way the Eibishter could cross himself. There's only one God. So the Eibishter gives us a fast, and he gives us a Shabbos. How could the two cross? Now, technically, how it could cross, we all understand, because of the Hagbolos of Teva and the calendar and so on. But if there's hashgocha or yoyin in every prat, there is no Teva. Everything is the Eibishter. No. So if there's no Teva and everything is the Eibishter, it's impossible that one commandment for the Eibishter and a different commandment for the Eibishter should intersect and contradict each other. They said one another, how could Shabbos be Deich Atonis and how could Atonis fall on Shabbos? And of course the answer is, the Eibishter put them together. The Eibishter brought the Tainus to Shabbos to say, today don't fast. You're supposed to fast, but I'm telling you that this year you shouldn't fast. Why would the Eibishter do this? The answer is klayachal, because every fast has two things: where it's coming from and where it's going to. Where is the fast coming from? Again, you notice. The fast is coming from the idea of tshuva, that Rambam Paskin, that we don't fast to suffer what our ancestors suffered. That's not Yiddishkeit. We fast as an act of tshuva, and when a person fasts, the Rambam says, Levave nichna, a person who's hungry, feels vulnerable and submissive, broken, and it's a good mood for the inyan tshuva, and on a Yemei Tainis is a Yom Tshuva, a fast day. It's a day of tshuva. It's an Eis Ratzon, day of tshuva, and a person is supposed to do tshuva on a fast day. As they state in Rambam, a person is supposed to do tshuva on a fast day. And this is commemorating the events, right? All of the tzaras that Yidden had are a correction for Avedas. Tzei Asiri, and Tzei Maravi, and Tzei Chamishi, and Tzei Shvi, Asara B'Teves, and Shavasa B'Tamuz, and Tisha B'Yavin, and Gedalia are connected to Avedas, which we did. And B'Mela, when those dates come, we fast as an act of tshuva to correct the wrong, to usher in the right, which is the Gula Mitzvah Hashlema. And of course, you all know that Rebbe talks so much about this idea of Leinas Gal Aveda, Leinas Gal Kitza, that the Aveda of which we're in Golus is called Sinas China. It's a hatred that's concealed. It's baseless. Sinas China you can't explain. You know why you can't explain Sinas China? Because it's China. So the Rebbe says, the Gemara's Lashon is Leinas Gal Aveda, the sin was not revealed. So the Rebbe says, what do you mean the sin wasn't revealed? We all know it's because of hatred. So it's Nizgala. So the Rebbe says, when someone hates for no reason, you cannot see it. So with this Leinas Gal Avodim doesn't mean that the data doesn't tell us what it's about. It's impossible to measure. It's impossible to measure. Therefore, the Leinas Gal Kitza. And the solution is Avas China. So you do fast as tshuva. You're fasting as tshuva, not as suffering, as tshuva. But in addition, there's the second idea. And the second idea is also connected to the same principle that Ein Eid Milvadei, which says that Hashem can do anything He wants. And He brought about a churban, and a golus, and a yerida, and tzaras tzrudis for thousands of years. Tzaras begashmis and tzaras beruchnis. Why? The Eibishter could have found another way to fix us without having all those tzaras. If the Eibishter's problem is that we didn't have Aveda, it doesn't have to demand this kind of golus. So the Rebbe answers another answer. And the other answer is, you need to tzedach aliyah. You could never justify a negative just as a punishment, or even as a punishment / cleansing, because the Eibishter can find a way of cleansing without punishing. Unless you say, tzedach aliyah, that the golus on the one hand is because of the Avedas, and the golus on the other hand is this is the only way to come to a higher madrega. After the golus, you need the tzedach aliyah. So we didn't go with the golus because of Avedas. No. For Avedas alone, we found a different solution. But because there's two inyanim, one inyan should be taken for the Avedas, and the other is we should reach the higher madrega, and because, of course, this means Malas HaTshuva, so that's why you have a golus. You have a golus so that the Geula will be so high, like the Rebbe wrote in this famous letter to Ben Shvi, that it will justify the tzaras. Yidden will say, when Mashiach comes, Eidcha Havaya ki Nafta Bi, Yoshev Apat Tachamin, we're going to be able to look at the golus and say it was worth it, which is hard to understand and imagine. But as they state impossible. So every fast has two things. You're fasting as tshuva for why the goal is happening, and you're fasting as a preparation for the aliyah, which is going to be the yasid love. So the aliyah lost love, you don't have to fast. Faket. For the aliyah lost love, you should have a simcha. Huh? Look at this neighbor. She did such a taiva that he brought us to a state of yitzerach aliyah. So the Rebbe says every tainus has two things. The reason you should fast, which is towards the past, and the reason you should celebrate, which is towards the future. So when the Eibishter B'Hashgacha Pratis puts together a fast day with Shabbos, he's sending a message. And the message is, this year, this fast is only about the future, not about the past. When the Eibishter says, I want you to fast as tshuva, but I take away that possibility from you by making it Shabbos, Hashem is sending a message. This year, Shabbos Tamuz is only about the Yehofu. It's only about the Yerida Tzedach Aliyah. It's not about So the Rebbe says, the Eibishter says not to fast. Why the Eibishter say not to fast? Not you shouldn't fast because it's Shabbos, but because this year the tainus is only about the Tzedach Aliyah. This Yom tainus is only because of the Yehovcho Yom Me'il Sosno Simchal Emes Hashalom Ha'evu. So but Me'ile, Rebbe says don't fast at all. The Eibishter says this year the fast is connected only to Mashiach. And in that summer, Rebbe stood up this year. And the same thing is happening again this year. And it's happened more than once in the last 28 years. That when you have a fast day on Shabbos, the Eibishter says this year all you have to think about is Mashiach. Not about Neichatim. Now the halacha is not like Rebbe. Because Teda Leba Shamayim, and Rebbe's opinion is Bashamayim. But the Rebbe says if the halacha is not like Rebbe, it doesn't make Rebbe wrong. It just makes Rebbe higher than our Madregit, you see. The Rebbe and the Chachamim argue. Why do they argue? But Pashto, because they have a disagreement in the halacha. But Bepnimius they argue because they're on two different levels. In the Madrega of Rebbe, even now you shouldn't fast. So you don't do the Madrega of Rebbe, but you have the Inyan of Madrega's Rebbe. And the Inyan of Madrega's Rebbe is that this year, Shivas of Tamuz and Tisha B'Av is connected only to Mashiach Tzidkin. This is a word. You all know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You're Chazer Ibn. That's what I do. I repeat. And this is a modern Dikavot. The Rebbe spoke all those years ago. And the Rikis was of Zerma Mashiach. And from the bitter and goes. And lichtig und gliklach und freilach und jiddisch und chsidisch und wanem. Bei jeder eine von uns.